Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shaunneka and today I'll be guiding you through a very cooling Yin Yoga sequence today. So it is the summertime and a lot of us are looking to cool off. So all of the postures in today's class are going to be very cooling. So if you enjoyed my summer solstice practice, you are going to enjoy today's practice. All of the postures today are going to be very cooling and targeting for the upper body. For today's practice, you are going to need 2 blocks and we will go ahead and get started. So grabbing your blocks, bringing them just a little bit closer than shoulder width distance apart, and it's up to you the height that you want to place the block, lowest height or highest height. Bringing your forearms to the blocks and bringing your hands to prayer. If your hands cannot stay in prayer, you can also interlace your fingers, point your finger forward, or just interlace all fingers. Walking your knees back, ensuring that your knees are still in line with your hips. And from here, inhaling, and on the exhale, sinking the chest to the mat. You can bring the forehead down as well if that feels good. I like this version as well. It really targets a different area in the shoulder, and I'm also feeling this underneath my bicep. Feels really, really nice. Nice deep breaths here. If it helps, you can bring your big toes to touch if you find that your feet are lifting up off of the mat. Come into our last few breaths here. Nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. Taking our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Push into your elbows, coming all the way back up. removing the blocks. And just bringing yourself to sit back into a child's pose for a moment. Just allow the shoulders to be loose. Allow the head to drop. Maybe stacking the forehead on stacked fists. And coming all the way up. So from here, we'll be making our way into melting heart. We just did a lot of opening for the shoulder and just a little bit for the chest. Although for some of you may have felt this quite a bit in the chest. So finding your tabletop position, walking your knees back, bringing your knees wide, and bringing your big toes to touch for this one. As you walk your palms forward, you're sending your hips back so that your hips stay stacked in line with your knees. And for this one, open up your arms a lot wider than you normally would, allowing the chest and chin to come to the mat. And there's also the option to grab a hold of the sides of your mat, just a little bit of leverage if you like. And you can also bring your forehead as opposed to your chin to the mat. Coming into our last few breaths here. Last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Push into your palms. Roll all the way forward onto your belly. Stack palm on palm and just let the forehead rest a moment. Maybe you shimmy the hips from side to side. You can bend the knees and windshield wiper them from side to side. From here, lifting the gaze, coming up onto your forearms, making your way into a Sphinx Frog variation. So bringing your feet as wide as your mat and making sure everything below the waist is nice and relaxed. So everything is completely relaxed. Draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. So it's almost as if you're pulling your elbow points towards your hip points. And as I do that, you'll see that I kind of drag forward. My chest lifts just a little bit more. So if your shoulders cannot stack directly in line with your elbows, you can have them slightly forward. And from here, simply bend the right knee. And what you're actively doing here is pushing that right knee away, or thinking about pushing it away. So the right knee is in line with the right hip. And feel free to take some neck rotations here. And making sure you repeat on the other side. So rotations in the opposite direction. And really make these exaggerated movements, nice and slow. Just finding a neutral position when you're done. Last few breaths here. If you'd like, you can turn your fingers to the top corners of your mat, push into your palms, and straighten the arms. And you don't want to come up too high because of that bent knee. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. Bring that breath right into the rib cage, right up underneath the armpit. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Stack palm on palm. Bring that right leg back down to meet the left and shimmy out through the hips. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So bending the left knee, making sure the left knee is in line with the left hip. And you're actively looking to push that left knee away. Coming up onto your forearms, finding the position for your shoulders and your elbows. If it feels good, you can drop the head back, feeling a nice stretch in the neck. Coming into our last few breaths, turning your fingertips to the top corners of your mat, pushing into your palms. Taking our last two breaths, nice big inhale, fill up. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more inhale, really thinking about bringing that breath right up underneath the armpits. And exhale, release. Coming all the way back down to the mat. Stack palm on palm and just bring the left leg now to meet the right. So from here, we're just going to neutralize the spine a little bit. Push into your palms. Find a tabletop. Bring your knees wide. Take a child's pose. Big toes come to touch at the back. Drape the belly onto the mat or in between the knees. Arms come out in front of you. Forehead rests on the mat. To even further relax through the shoulders and the chest. From here, push your forehead into the mat and weave your hands in between the gap, grabbing a hold of your feet or your knees. You can bring your right cheek or your left cheek to the mat. This should feel really nice after all of those chest and shoulder openings. Coming into our last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently remove your hands from underneath you and come to sit all the way back up. We will be ending our Shavasana with a supported fish. So placing your blocks, one block on its highest height, second block, second highest height. Making sure the block is not digging into your low back, it's slightly away. Coming all the way down. And placing the top block just underneath the back of the neck, back of the head. So finding that sweet spot for yourself. You can bring soles of the feet to touch. Also reach ground onto opposite elbows, interlace your fingers. So the choice is yours. You can stay here for as long as you'd like, or otherwise bending the knees, rolling to one side, removing the blocks. Coming to lay all the way back down onto the mat. Whichever option you choose, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed today's class, and I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Have a wonderful day.